All right, I've decided to do my presentation on the sports entertainment industry, both looking at sports in the United States and sports internationally, specifically focusing on soccer and football. So the first big question is why sports entertainment? First of all, personally, I love sports, and after talking to a few people in this class, I know that they also love sports, and they have encouraged me to pursue this topic. A few other reasons is that the sports industry is massive, absolutely massive. Globally, it makes over $100 billion a year now. And Statista actually put out a recent report, and they said that over the past 10 or so years, it has doubled in revenue. And also, it reaches nearly every demographic imaginable. And just because of the sheer variety of sports and teams and different ideas that are shared through sports. Another advantage for me is I am an aspiring business student, and going into the business field, I can take this knowledge and if I were to go into sports marketing, for example, I could use the knowledge I have learned from this project and look into new markets or business ventures. So we're going to start with football here in the United States. It's primarily flagshipped by the NFL. The NFL is a league of 32 teams broken up into multiple divisions, and to settle like who wins the league particularly, they have a playoff style tournament at the end, and 12 teams make it in. And then they go from 12 down to 1 in a game called the Super Bowl. So if we look at some stats for the NFL recently, like popularity-wise, a Gallup poll recently said that it is still the most popular sport in the United States, with around 34% of like all fans saying that is the favorite sport to watch. It peaked at around 43 or 46%, anywhere in that range, around 2005, 2006, and for the past 15 or so years has been slowly declining. In 1963, it overtook baseball as the most popular sport in the United States, and it generates over $10 billion a year, upwards around 15. Now, it is slowly breaking into a more European market, specifically in the United Kingdom. Back in 2007, the NFL signed a contract with Wembley Stadium in London to start hosting one game a year over there. It sold out Wembley Stadium nearly every single time, and has become so popular that they now host 3 games a year. Most recently, in 2018, Tottenham Hotspur, which is a massive soccer club in London, completed a new multi-purpose stadium, and they signed a contract with the NFL to host NFL football games in their stadium. Now, this is huge because NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is constantly working on trying to create a London-based NFL franchise to expand the league into a more international scale. And so that's kind of like what American sports are doing around the world. Now let's look at what more European or international sports are doing here back at home. So I'm going to take a look at soccer. I'm going to begin still in the UK with soccer. What they have is called the English Premier League, also known as the EPL. It consists of 20 teams. And so instead of having a playoff style like the NFL does, they just have a 38-game season from August to May, and you get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and at the end of the season, whoever has the most points wins the league. Currently, the Premier League is the richest soccer league in the world. CNN Money reported that they made around $6.4 billion last year in their last season, which is their most lucrative to date. This also compiles of the big 5 soccer leagues in Europe, which consists of the English Premier League, La Liga in Spain, Bundesliga in Germany, Serie A in Italy, and Ligue 1 in France. They make a grand total of upwards of $20 to $30 billion combined. So now, what's going on in the United States with soccer? Well, first of all, unlike the NFL having a hand in the creation of football teams in Europe, the Premier League or any of those leagues will have no hand in the creation of soccer clubs here in the United States. That's already been done by the MLS, which is right now a small league but growing rapidly. Over the past 8 years, Nielsen Insights reports that interest amongst the age range of 18 or older in sports fans has risen 10% in the last 8 years, from 37% to 47%. Currently, the MLS consists of 23 teams, similar to Premier League, 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. And in 2020, this year, a 24th team will be added in Miami, which is a huge market area with over 500,000 people already responding to being interested in season ticket holders. This team will be started by superstar David Beckham, who is known by many soccer fans worldwide and in the United States. So I chose these because there's potential at both ends, both from a business standpoint, a marketing standpoint, and just a cultural standpoint. We can become a more interconnected world through our sports, and also as aspiring business student, I can bring these insights into a business I'm working at later and make some money.